What's up, guys? I haven't done one of these in a while. So, I'm gonna do one right now. I'm gonna make myself a sandwich. How have all of you been? I hope all of you have been well. You might have seen on my socials a movie of mine that I made, a short film, was featured in a showcase. So that was really cool. I got to go and see my work on the big screen, which was really, really neat. And then we did a Q&A afterwards, and it was really cool to talk to an audience about my movie. Though apparently I need to work on my public speaking skills because apparently every time I was asked a question, I would close my eyes and I would do this, kind of hiding my face, and I would have the microphone up here and be like, when we were working on the movie, I would kind of just scrunch up and close my eyes. And you might have noticed that I close my eyes sometimes when I make videos as well. I don't know why, in my head it's it helps me think. I guess because there's less stimuli coming in, so it's easier for me to process everything in my head. So I guess I was doing that a lot while I was up in front of the crowd, which is a little embarrassing, but oh well. As I said, making a sandwich, tofurkey with white cheddar cheese, yellow mustard, and spinach on an Italian roll. 'Cause I'm Italian. Spaghetti. I like to rip up the spinach and kind of sprinkle it in shreds into the sandwich. Get a little fancy. Get a little fancy schmancy. I'm sorry that you can't see what I'm making right now. It was hard enough. I don't have very fancy equipment. This is my phone on one of those really cheap social media influencer mini tripods. And it was hard enough to get this shot because it's teetering on the very edge of the island. And if I push it out any more and I try to zoom out any more, it'll literally fall off onto the floor. And I would need a second camera to accurately get the sandwich in the shot. So live with it, please. Thank you.
Look at that bad boy. Now that's a fucking sandwich.
As always with these, there's going to be mouth sounds of me eating. So if that's something that kind of grosses you out and you don't like to hear, sorry. Watch another one of my videos. Thanks. Oh, woo. So yeah, March ended up being kind of a busy month for me in terms of personal projects. I have this channel, and I needed to get that Kingdom Hearts video, my most recent upload before this one. I needed to get that done as soon as possible and make sure all my ducks were in a row. With that, in terms of March Caprice and hitting all the deadlines, and they needed, the metadata, the information and everything. And then I had my film that got selected for the film showcase, so I needed to provide them with that metadata, and I needed to coordinate with the cast and crew and give everyone the showcase dates and make sure that everyone was good to come in and figure out who was going to participate in the Q&A and everything. And then on top of all that, I don't just work on my own personal projects. I am also a freelance video editor for hire. If you need an editor, send me a message. And I have been doing work for a YouTuber, and my laptop was also broken. The fan inside of my laptop was busted. So I had this deadline of we need this by the end of March, and also my laptop was broken, so I couldn't edit. So it was this race against the clock with me trying to get my laptop fixed so I could get this edit done in time. So that was really stressful, and there was just a lot going on for me in March. So once I got that Kingdom Hearts video out, and I got the showcase done, and I got that edit done for the freelancing, I kind of just wanted to take a break. and not really work on anything. That's why the channel's been a little dead since the Kingdom Hearts video, and why there wasn't anything in between the Oscars video and the Kingdom Hearts video. Just been busy, and then I was like, I don't want to do anything right now. But then I got the idea yesterday where I was like, why don't I just do a video where I'm just kind of like off script, kind of just chatting with the camera and like talking about things going on in my life. Why don't I do videos like that? And then I was like, oh, I literally already have a series where I do that, and it's Lunch with Bill. So I was like, I'm gonna do a Lunch with Bill today. They're easy to record, and they're easy to edit, and they're fun and they're chill, and I usually get some decent feedback on those. So here I am. In my free time, I've just been playing a lot of video games. I've been replaying Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. That's a really fun game. That's a nice game that you can kind of like turn your brain off. Maybe put like a YouTube video on in the background. Knock out all the side ops and everything. That's a fun game, and I'm a big Metal Gear Solid fan, so that's always a nice return. I also tried playing Nier Automata. This was like the third or fourth time I've tried in earnest to like get into that game. And I'm giving it a fair shot. Like, I'm playing a couple hours. I'm not just like playing for 30 minutes and then dropping it. Like, I'm sitting down and really trying multiple sittings. It just doesn't click with me. I don't know what it is. I don't think the story is particularly interesting to me. I appreciate the ways that it uses the medium of video games as like a storytelling device. I think that's neat. But outside of that, I'm really not interested in anything else that it has to offer. Just the gameplay isn't particularly interesting to me. The story isn't particularly interesting to me. The environments are these kind of like wide, empty plains. It just doesn't do it for me. Which is disappointing because like I've heard so many people go on and on about like how it's one of their favorite games of all time. I really wish I could share in that. My cat's about to take a shit. Oh my god, Zuko! He just knocked over the whole fucking litter box. And he's still shitting. Dude. You're so gross. Don't shit on the floor! Zuko! He's shitting on the floor! Stop! Dude! Obviously, I'm not going to show you because it's disgusting, but he knocked over the litter box and now he's just shitting on the floor. Stop shitting on the floor! I'm going to have to take a break and clean this up. He just shit on the floor. That was fun. Where was I? Nier Automata, video games. Yes. My biggest surprise lately is that I've been getting into Demon Souls lately, which is wild because I've tried every single like FromSoft Souls game, Soulsborne, aside from Dark Souls 2 and Demon Souls up to this point. I'm playing the PS5 version, and all of them have been like not for me. Even Elden Ring. I picked it up, I played it for like 10 hours, and I was like, it's not for me. But I started Demon Souls last night, and like all day I've been like wanting to play it, which never happens. I usually have to force myself to try to get into a FromSoft game. So it's why I don't know what it is specifically about Demon Souls that's hooking me, but it's hooking me. It's actually pretty fun, and I think. You know, I know it wasn't just FromSoft, it's Bluepoint Games who did the PS5 version, but looks fucking gorgeous. It's a gorgeous looking game. and I'm having fun. Which again doesn't really happen when I play a FromSoft game. I don't usually have fun. I had some fun with Sekiro. Sekiro was probably the closest I've ever gotten to like actively like enjoying myself playing a FromSoft game. But I think Demon's Souls is starting to edge it out, and I'm surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It's a really cool game, and I hope this feeling stays and doesn't like dissipate, and I drop it after 10 hours like pretty much every other FromSoft Soulsborne game. I saw the Mario movie. I went at 10 p.m. on a weeknight because I didn't want to be a 26-year-old in a theater full of children. So I went when I was pretty sure there weren't going to be any children. There weren't. It was me, and then there were like 6 other people in the theater that were just like me, you know, like young adults, grew up with Mario, were interested in watching it, not in a room full of toddlers. I really liked it. I think the fact it has like a Metacritic of like 48 or something right now, I think that's way low. I think that's way too low. Something in the 50s maybe I could understand, but 48? That's really low. It's not fucking Citizen Kane or anything, but like it was fun. I had a really fun time watching it. And I don't know. Yeah, I guess the story was a bit generic, but I think the animation was really well done. There were a lot of fun sequences, a lot of great nods to the games and the franchise as a whole. And I don't know. I think for a lot of critics, it's like, oh, those references and the fact that like it's faithful to the source material, like that doesn't matter for anything. And if this were like a different video game series, maybe I could understand. Like if this were Sly Cooper, I could be like, yeah, I mean, most people in the general audience, like I love video games, obviously I love video games, so I know a decent amount of Sly Cooper, but the general public, like if you ask my mom, she has no fucking clue who Sly Cooper is. That is something that I would be like, yeah, you can't just throw in references to the video games and be faithful to the video games and expect that to matter much. But this is Mario. My mom knows who Mario is. My grandfather probably knows who Mario is. He's one of the most ubiquitous pop culture icons ever, arguably. It's like Mickey Mouse, Mario. Honestly, like I think he's only bested by Mickey Mouse. That's how ubiquitous he is in modern pop culture. So I think pretending like you could watch this movie in a vacuum and judge it as if you have no prior knowledge is a bit disingenuous. Because literally every single person in that audience is going in with some kind of prior knowledge. So I think you need to expect the movie to also share in that self-awareness a little bit. And I applaud it for doing so. I think the movie would be worse if it didn't. So that's where I'm coming from with my enjoyment of the movie. You know, I grew up with Mario. Even though I was born in the late 90s, like I did grow up playing like Mario 3 on the SNES. And was that the SNES? Or was that the NES? Mario 3 was the NES. Mario World is the SNES. Yeah, oh my god. So yeah, I was playing Mario 3 on the NES. Like the daycare I would go to had an NES, and I would play Mario 3 there. I would, play the Game Boy games because I had a Game Boy Advance when I was younger. Then I had a Wii, and I would retroactively play the GameCube games that I missed because I never had a GameCube. I grew up obsessed with Mario, like a lot of people did. So from that perspective, the movie really hit for me. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I had a smile on my face pretty much the whole time. So that's my 2 cents on the Mario movie, I guess. Oh, you've likely noticed in my videos that I'm missing these 2 teeth. That's because I was born without them, and I used to have those teeth in my videos because I used to wear a retainer that had fake teeth on them. But in the past year, I've started the process to get permanent implants. And because I was born without these teeth, there was no bone up here for them to implant teeth into. So before I could even start the implant process, they needed to do a bone graft up here to put bone up there, wait for that to heal, so they could put implants up there, wait for those to heal. And now I'm finally in the process of getting the permanent crowns made. So in like 3 weeks, I'm gonna have teeth permanently, and they're not gonna be on a retainer. You know, the seasons are changing. It's starting to get a lot warmer around where I live. It's in the 70s and 80s pretty consistently now, and it's sunny, and I've been riding my bike lately, and things are going okay for old classic Bill. I guess just to wrap things up, thank you all for watching and liking and subscribing and all that, and I already thanked everyone who was in the live premiere, but I want to thank everyone again for checking out and commenting and sharing your stories on my last Kingdom Hearts video for 20 years with Kingdom Hearts. I was already planning on it being a personal video where I talked a lot about, you know, growing up and everything, but I think it ended up feeling even more personal than I originally intended it to be, and I was a bit worried about how it would come off because I didn't want it to just feel like a video where I just ramble about things that are so specific to me that they're not interesting to anyone else for like half an hour. So I was a little worried leading up to the premiere, but everyone who was in the live chat for the premiere just shared so many of their personal stories and so many little anecdotes, and it was so touching to see people react that way to something I made and to share that connection with the people who were there. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out and doing that, because that really meant a lot to me, and that made me feel really nice and happy. And chances are, if you're watching this, you probably have already watched that video. So thank you. I've finished my sandwich. I've cleaned up Zuko's poop, my cat, not the character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out and eating lunch with me. This has been the Classic Bill YouTube channel. I'm Bill. I'll see you on the next one.